We have a major injury update around Lonzo Ball. We're going to be talking about what Billy Donovan had to say about Lonzo Ball's injury. We're also going to be talking about how this is going to impact the Chicago Bulls as they move forward this season. This is your host, Rico Greenhowe, and you have found yourself on another episode of Bulls Digest. And so today, we're looking at the most recent injury update around Lonzo Ball and just what Billy Donovan had to say and just really where Lonzo Ball is at right now with his injured wrist. We're also going to be talking about just what this means for the Chicago Bulls moving forward as they are currently in the play-in situation, what adjustments they might have to make with Lonzo Ball being out, and what would happen once Lonzo Ball gets back to the team, hopefully. And so before we go ahead and jump into the content for today, I first wanted to remind you that, look, 72.8% of you that watch are not subscribed to the channel, so make sure that you go ahead and you slam dunk on that subscribe button, as it means a lot to us here at Bulls Digest as we try to reach our end of the season subscriber goal. And so with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the content for today. And so you can find this article on ESPN.com, and it is Bulls Lonzo Ball out again but not shut down for the season. And so before we go into what Billy Donovan had to say about Lonzo Ball, you know, for those who are not familiar with the situation, look, Lonzo has been out with a right wrist sprain, and so I think it's the same wrist that he hurt earlier this year, and he's now missed 7 games, I believe, counting this last game last night. And so because of that, we have not seen Lonzo Ball on the court as of late, and we haven't heard a timeline of really what's going on with Lonzo Ball until today. And so this is something that Billy Donovan had to say about his injury, and so you can find this in the article. And it says that, look, I think the intention that he's doing right now is just trying to get himself back to playing. Doctors aren't saying, hey, listen, you got to sit out. It's just when he feels that he can do things on the court that he's comfortable with. All right. So that's a big time update right there, because he's telling you that, look, until Lonzo gets to a point of comfort, you know, that's when maybe things start to trend a little bit more upward. And then also, too, he's also saying that, look, doctors have not said that Lonzo Ball has been ruled out for the season. And so I think that that is very good as well. And so let's go ahead and just start with really the impact now that we are going to get with Lonzo Ball and just really what he's done to get to this point, because I think that every time Lonzo Ball has been on the court for the Chicago Bulls this season, the numbers may not have been there, but I definitely think his impact has been there every game. I don't think that there's not a game that has passed by that he's played in that he hasn't been a huge impact. I also think that Lonzo, look, if there is a comeback athlete of the year, I'm putting my vote in for Lonzo Ball. Considering all the things that he has gone through to get to this point, I think that it's been spectacular, and it's just great to see him every time he's on the court and really excelling. And so with what he's done with the Chicago Bulls, look, he's been an impact force offensively. He's also been an impact force defensively as well. And so with his offense, I feel like that the offense definitely runs a lot more smoother. It's definitely more calm when he's out there as well. I think that he has that effect on us. And I think that he's the player that if he sees a mismatch inside, he is certainly going to get it to our big man. And so you love that about Lonzo Ball. And he also understands too the transition game as well. So if he is, getting the basketball off of the rebound, he is the type of player that doesn't even need to take a dribble, and he's passing it ahead to get this fast break going and hopefully getting us a bucket that way. So you love the fact that the transition game and the things that he adds there. And then as far as what he does defensively, look, it does seem like there are 5 Lonzo Balls out there. Look, he's blocking shots. He's coming over on the help. He's getting steals. Like, he's all over the place with deflections and things like that. And so he's been incredible for us. The basketball IQ has been on display, I think, really all season when he's been in the lineup. And so just looking at his numbers and just really the impact that Lonzo Ball has had. And so when you look at these, I mean, it's not anything that really jumps off the page at you, but still, he's just been great when he's been on the court, and he's just solid. You know, even with the 7.6 points, the 3.4 rebounds, the 3.3 assists, it really doesn't tell the story of Lonzo Ball. And one of the things that, is not talked about, I think, enough is that, look, he is actually second on the team behind Tre Jones right now with the assist to turnover ratio at 2.8. Tre Jones leads with 6.7. Jevon Carter is ahead of him, but he doesn't play as many minutes, so I didn't want to count that. And Ayo is out due to being injured, and Chris Duarte is not even on the team anymore. But still, look, Lonzo is right behind Tre Jones, so that just lets you know, just with the basketball IQ, he knows what to do with it as far as getting us into, a good shot that converts to a bucket versus turning the basketball over. So you got to give him a lot of credit there. And so now that leads us into what could the Chicago Bulls do as far as just the pivot is concerned. And so I think that the first thing that, is going to probably continue to happen as Lonzo Ball is out is that you're going to see, I think, some more of Tre Jones. And I think that Tre Jones has done a terrific job just really in this moment and just really taking these minutes and this opportunity and really running with it, because Tre Jones, look, we've talked about this, before, and I've said it and I'll say it again. He does the same things like Alonzo as far as just the way that the offense runs smoothly out there. I think that he understands, the player movement. He understands how to get it inside as well. I think he's terrific with his off-ball movements, which I love that about him. And then defensively, look, I think that, again, he's kind of all over the place as well. I've seen where there's numerous plays where he's getting deflections. And look, teams are not actively looking to go after him on the defensive end. I think that is a good indication of how good Tre Jones has been. And look, he's just a smart player when it comes down to just being efficient. Like when you look at his the way he gets his baskets, look, they're in the paint, they're contested, he makes tough layups, and he has the ability to get to the free throw line. And so, look, Tre Jones, I think, is set to continue to really grow as Lonzo Ball is out. If we look over the last 13 points a game, 3.6 rebounds a game, 5.1 assists, 81% from the free throw line, and he's getting 27.6 minutes on a 57.1 field goal percent rate. And so, look, very good field goal percentage. Great player for us across the board. He's making winning plays, and I just wonder, what is the adjustment going to be once I think Lonzo Ball gets back? Because, look, I think that Tre Jones has definitely played himself into another contract. I just don't know if it's going to be with the Chicago Bulls. We've talked about this before, that the Bulls are going to have to clear out, some players in order for Tre Jones to come back. And I think that, you'd have to figure out what's going on with Jevon Carter. Obviously, THT, I know that. But then you have Ayo, who's coming back. And then you also have some other players that I think could be set to really benefit from Lonzo being out some more time. And so that brings me to that next point. And I think that, the next player that could really get some, good benefits here from Lonzo being out would be a Dalen Terry. I think that what we saw from Dalen Terry last night, look, I think that was what we wanted to see from Dalen Terry throughout the season, but I think that it's just a matter of him getting opportunities. And so, it's been unfortunate due to the injuries that the Bulls have had that Billy Donovan has actually been forced to try some different lineups and different rotations. And now we are seeing that Dalen Terry, Julian Phillips, both of these players are kind of taking off a bit. And I love what I saw from Dalen Terry last night and really throughout the season. I think he's been scrappy as a defender, but offensively, if you can get him to knock down 3-point shots like he did last night, he went 3 of 3 in that game. He played with a ton of confidence out there. Like, I definitely see that he could benefit from Lonzo Ball being out. And then also too with Julian Phillips, look, I think that he absolutely is a player that is set to benefit with Lonzo Ball being out. I think that really you're starting to see that Billy Donovan is trusting him a bit more. And look, man, he's showing flashes of athleticism, and it's not just lobs and things like that. Like, I love the play where he put it on the deck yesterday, did the spin move, got the and one. Like, you can see the confidence is there. And I really do believe you can start to pencil him in as a corner 3-point specialist. I think he feels very comfortable with that. And I think that, look, he can continue to grow a bit more offensively if you put him into those situations. And so we know that Billy Donovan is coaching this team to win as many games as possible. We know that they're competing their tails off. And look, he doesn't have the players that he would like to maybe rely on, like Lonzo Ball, which is why it's going to be interesting that when Lonzo Ball does get back, hopefully he does at this point. Again, we don't have any timeline. There is no, hey, he's coming back at this time and, we're going to try to ramp him up. We don't know. We just know he's not out for the season. But if Lonzo does come back, then what does Billy Donovan do? Because you have Julian Phillips, Dalen Terry, Tre Jones all playing well. How do you continue to keep these players in the rotation, continue to develop these players, and get wins as well? I think that is where it becomes interesting, and why I say, look, Billy Donovan's going to have to get into his coaching bag. And so anyway, let me know in the comments what you're thinking here. What do they do when Lonzo Ball does hopefully come back? And if he doesn't come back, do you see that, yes, look, we need to have Julian Phillips, Dalen Terry. These players need to play extended minutes out there for us. So love to hear what the thoughts are. And as we always say, go Bulls, and I will see you on the next one. All right, peace.